And we are back once again.
Episode 184 of The Horror Guys. I am Kevin.
I am Brian.
We're going to talk about horror movies this week, aren't we?
And this is, we're 1 week late again. These are last week's movies from last week's podcast.
We're working on that.
Someday we'll get caught up.
We'll get caught up.
Yes, 184 episodes in, and you'd think we'd be better at this by now.
Oh, we're very good at it. We're just not always timely.
Okay.
Things happen.
Well, it's not like we skip episodes. We just run late sometimes.
We catch them up eventually.
Yeah. And before we get into it this time, I want to point out that we have a giveaway to give away.
I love giveaways.
We have 5 copies of Orphan First Kill, which we'll be talking about next week. Mm-hmm. And after we talk about it, we'll give away those copies. So it's not too late to get yours. Mm-hmm. Send an email to email@horrorguys.com and say, I want to win an Orphan First Kill, and we'll send you a promo code.
And if you do happen to win an Orphan First Kill, don't watch it before you watch Orphan.
Yeah.
Because there's a major spoiler for Orphan in Orphan First Kills, even though Orphan First Kills is a prequel.
Yeah, we're going to talk about these next week.
Don't watch them in that order.
We're going to talk about
we'll talk about it.
Yeah. But what he said is correct. Even though this is a prequel, you'll want to watch the original 2009 Orphan first.
Yeah.
Absolutely can't recommend that high enough.
Yeah.
The second one will totally ruin the first movie if you haven't seen it first.
And they are both very good and both worth watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, that was email@horrorguys.com, and just let me know what you want, and we'll get you on if you're one of the first 5 people.
Yeah.
And if you're not, well, we'll let you know that too. All right, well, what do we got this week anyway?
We got Achoura from 2018.
Gesundheit.
Yes. And The Innocents from just last year, 2021. And then we've got the big budget Predator sequel, Prey, that's brand newish. And we've got a very ridiculous movie that was pretty darn good called Glorious.
You thought it was ridiculous, not dead serious?
Not dead serious at all, from 2022. So we've got 2 movies this week starring a lot of kids, and 2 movies that no kid should ever see. Basically.
And we quite often make fun of horror movies with kids in them because kids are notoriously horrible actors.
But
we're looking at you, Babadook.
We found 2 winners.
Yeah, these are both really bearable. Yeah. Actually, they're good movies with children that you probably, well, maybe you'll hate some of them, but you're supposed to.
Because of the character, yeah, not because they're awful, obnoxious child actors that can't act.
Well, let's start off with one of those.
Achoura from 2018.
Yeah.
And these names.
It's directed by Talal Salami. Written by Jawad Lahu, Talal Salami, and David Villemin. Stars Sophia Manusha, Yunus Boab, and Omar Lotfi. Hour and 33 minutes. Trailer in the show notes. Where did we get this one? I believe this was Shudder?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. It is a Moroccan horror film with subtitles. And I think that might be the first Moroccan movie I've ever watched, let alone Moroccan horror movie.
There you go. Spoiler-free, because probably most people haven't seen it.
Well, this was a good one. Extra interesting because it was set in Morocco, and we don't often see that in horror movies. Well done with a slowly unfolding mystery of what's happening now and what happened in the past. It is thoroughly creepy and disturbing.
Yeah, and I think this one and The Innocents we probably won't spoil because they're both pretty recent. We both liked them a lot. Mm-hmm. If you want to read the full synopsis with the spoilers, go to horrorguys.com, and they're all posted there from beginning to end with any kind of spoilers that might be involved. But I'll stop at some point here.
Uh-huh.
Well, we begin with some text on the screen that says Achoura. Ashura.
There's a difference in the English spelling versus the Moroccan spelling.
Yes. I noticed on my calendar Achoura was just last week or the week before.
But it's spelled different.
And they spell it Achoura. I imagine it's all just a matter of Englification of a...
Yeah, I think so.
Whatever word.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this thing, Achoura, is a religious celebration in Morocco where children splash water on each other and celebrate with bonfires. It's also called Child's Night. And we get that in a little text scroll on the screen. A long time ago in Morocco, a boy and a girl sneak away from the celebration to hide in the cornfield. She's married to an old man and is not happy about it. She looks, 10.
Yeah, definitely a child bride.
She made the boy a whistle to call her when he needs her. When they hear her husband's voice, they run to an abandoned building to hide. Something on the ceiling turns into smoke and takes the young girl as credits roll.
So we got a monster.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Today, Yusuf is late for school. Ali obsessively watches recording of interrogations. His boss says it's a waste of time since this is a closed case. He's a policeman.
Mm-hmm.
Elsewhere, a boy, Hakim, wanders into an abandoned factory and runs into a pair of very strange squatters. One seems to be the prisoner of the other. Chains and gags and all that good stuff.
Yeah, he's got like a bit gag on. And
Yeah.
you wonder, your first thought is, oh, this is some kind of kink thing going on. But no, there's more
It's
to
a
it than
horror
that.
movie. It's never a kink
It's
thing.
not that simple. Yeah.
Well, this prisoner we see has something growing inside him that moves around. You've all seen that effect before. It's big. It's like a giant worm under his skin or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we see that Ali is Yosef's father, and he's separated from his mother, Nadia. Nadia goes to Stevens? How would you say that?
I think it was
Stefan?
Stefan. I think
Stefan's
that's how they were saying it.
opening. He's an artist of very creepy paintings. Stefan tells the story of his recurring dream about sleep paralysis and a creature that stares at him before choking him. Monsters are a reflection of our society, he says. Now he's going to share his nightmares through his art. I know what abducted Samir, and I need your help, Nadia, he asks as he puts on a strange mask. Suddenly, everyone is wearing masks but her.
You know, and at first I thought she was having some weird hallucination or something. No, that whole thing, he set that whole thing up for her, like as an artistic, performance thing, plus to get her attention.
An audience of one.
Yeah, that was just weird, though, because you think, oh, she's just hallucinating all this. No, it's real.
Well, we flash back to 20 years ago where Nadia, Ali, Stefan, and Samir were playing. Nadia tells them a story about the French house, a place that eats kids that's supposed to be on the far side of the cornfield. Well, nowadays, we see that Samir turns out to be that prisoner in the old factory. Hakim comes back to visit Samir and asks why he's chained up. Hakim then takes the gag off.
Bad move, kid.
The thing inside Samir escapes and gets Hakim.
That gag was on for a reason.
2 detectives come looking for Hakim, who is now missing. Elsewhere, another young boy tries to sleep, but ends up hiding under the bed from a monster. Samir breaks in just afterward, and the parents knock him out. He's an intruder.
Mm-hmm.
Detective Majd calls Ali about the weird man they captured who won't speak. Ali recognizes Samir, who is his brother. After all these years, Samir insists that he wasn't abducted. He needs to stop the Bugatate.
That's what was inside him.
The Bugatate. All right, one more flashback to the past where we watch Samir go into the cornfield alone, and Samir runs into Bashira, the girl who disappeared from the pre-credit sequence. She says she's lost. And we don't know when that whole thing in the pre-credits happened, but it was said to be a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. So something weird going on there.
Bashira says she needs help for her friend at the house, and all 4 children follow her. They all hide in the house. And we're going to go stop there, I think. That's bad things happen.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, Samir ended up getting infected with...
Holding that creature inside
yes, holding
it,
the creature. Yeah. And,
Then now it's out.
misunderstanding. Yeah, now it's out. So now they have to deal with this creature.
Yeah, well, okay, this one is very visual, with lingering, somewhat awkward shots of faces, places, and things. Sometimes you just zoom in on somebody's face, and they're just not doing anything. They're just there.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting mystery seeing what happened to Samir and why. The creature is a blend of practical and CGI effects, and it mostly looks pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it did.
And I have no idea if this is just a random idea for a horror movie, or if the Bugatate is an actual local legend from Morocco, but it sort of had the feel of a legendary creature, and I thought it was really good.
Something you tell the kids to scare them, but it turns out it's real.
Watch out, the Bugatate is going to get you.
Yeah, sometimes that will.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I liked it a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Which takes us to what's next?
The Innocents, another kid-heavy movie from 20...
Not for kids.
No. Well, there's kids in it, though. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but not a child's movie, no. 2021.
Written and directed by Eskil Vogt, stars Raquel Lenora Flotum, Alva Brinsnow Armstead, and Sam Ashraf.
And if you couldn't tell by the names,
It's a different country.
Another international movie, and again subtitled, but really worth it.
Hour and 57 minutes, trailer in the show notes, a little bit longer. Spoiler free. This is a unique take on horror with a nice slow build. Children are always innocent and harmless. But if they start developing special powers, nothing could go wrong, right?
Wrong.
Well, the kid actors are all great. The special effects are perfect. This one is a winner and well worth the subtitle reading. Yeah, we both like this one.
Yes, very much. Well, a young girl, Ida, wakes up in the back seat of the car. She has a sister, Anna, who is severely autistic. She reaches over and pinches the sister, but she doesn't get much of a reaction. Anna's just kind of in her own world. They are moving to a new place, and she walks down to the beach to stomp on worms.
And you immediately you're seeing that she's pinching her sister and stomping on worms, so she's obviously one of those, bad kids.
A little bit, yeah. Well, Ida doesn't have any friends at the new place, so she tries to make some new ones. She meets Ben, a little boy, who shows her a trick. He tells her to drop a stone. When she does, he makes it fall sideways, presumably using psychic powers.
A little bit of telekinesis there.
A little bit, yeah. Well, Ida doesn't like Anna much. She's kind of a burden and kind of a drag, and I think she gets assigned to take care of her sister a lot. And
the younger child has to take care of the older one, and you know how that goes.
Yeah. When she finds some broken glass, she makes sure to put some in Anna's shoe.
Ooh.
Except elsewhere, Isha, another little girl with
vitiligo.
Vitiligo. That's a hard word for me to say. Vitiligo.
I wouldn't have even mentioned that in the review, except I thought it was going to be relevant later.
No, it wasn't really, and it's a actress that really has that too. And if you don't know what that is, it's you may have seen people with it.
It's a pigmentation.
Pigmentation.
Yeah.
They lack blotches of pigmentation, so they got white patches. Anyway, she finds that her foot appears to bleed when she puts her shoes on, but not really. She just sees it. So it's just a vision. Anna gets all the attention in the household, and Ida is kind of feeling neglected. Well, Aisha goes looking for her cat in Ida's building. They all seem to have some kind of mental connection, these 4 kids. That night, Aisha asks her mother about praying, but instead of asking for things, she just wants to listen.
Yeah, most people when they pray, they talk and they ask and they talk to God and they ask for things, but Aisha hears things.
Mm-hmm. And
it's more interesting to listen than it is to talk.
Shows her sleeping in bed, and she's hearing the thoughts of all these people all over the building. Well, Ida leaves Anna on the swings while she goes to play with Ben. Aisha comes over and talks to Anna. Ben and Ida find Aisha's cat, and he drops it down the 10-story stairwell, but the cat survives. Well, except then he squishes its head. But Ida doesn't approve of that. She's not that messed up. She's not as messed up as Ben is.
And I have read a lot of people in certain Facebook groups talking about how good this movie was up until that point, but then they had to turn it off.
Because they couldn't stand that part. But it was necessary to show what kind of kid Ben is.
Yeah. Yeah, early on, Ida was squishing worms, and nobody really cares about worms. Mm-hmm. When you squish a cat's head, people tend to get a little upset.
And demonstrating that Ida is not going to go that far.
It's not graphic. No. You don't see the thing explode or anything, but it's clear what happens.
It's very shadowy, but yeah. Well, on the way home, she sees that Anna and Aisha have become friends. The next day, Ida and Anna want to go to the park again. Ida goes to the storage room and finds the dead cat. Anna is obsessed with pot lids and frisbees when they spin on the ground. And when Ben is nearby, she can spin them indefinitely. So she's got a little bit of the shining, too.
When she's near him.
Yeah. Ida figures out that Aisha can hear Anna in her mind. And we see that all these kids are kind of neglected. They're kind of on the fringes, and they're kind of ignored by the parents. And do we think we should stop there?
Yeah, that's all right. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all these kids, well, it turns out several of these kids have what look like powers, or they're connected in some way that amplify each other.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly superpowers, but
when they're close and work together, it gets stronger, and it gets a little complicated, the relationship the 4 of them have. Okay, it gets real complicated.
We've seen that a couple of these kids are not exactly what you'd call model children either.
Yeah, Yeah, so it was very good.
Yeah, the child actors here are all very good, and I couldn't sit through 2 hours of a kid's story otherwise. It's a slow burn, it really moves slowly, but you see things developing even early on. You know things are going to go badly, but it's not quite clear how it's going to happen for a long while. The suspense grows along with the increase of the kids' powers. What was that one with the Dane DeHaan a few years ago, with the teenager who got the powers and he eventually went bad?
I don't know what
Something
one
with
you
a
mean.
number, Super 8 or something like that?
No, Super 8 was a Nick Cage
No.
movie.
Oh, shoot, I can't remember the name of that one. Well, I was reminded of that. When somebody got superpowers and you see them slowly devolve into an evil thing.
Okay, I'm not sure which one you mean. That's
Okay.
not coming to mind.
Well, the bleak apartment house that they use here is a perfect setting for this. It's one of those, brutalist buildings from the Soviet era or something like that.
That's how it looks.
Yeah. The 4 neglected children are bound to get into trouble, and only the method here is new. It's very, very different from most other horror films. I kind of like that.
Me too. I liked it a lot. Yeah, unique.
And as always, we have a short film.
One of my favorites, I think, so far.
It's
This
unique.
one's something, yeah. Karaoke Night from 2019, which was directed by Francisco Lacerda, written by Amerino Franca and Francisco Lacerda. Stars, oh, help me.
Fernando Ale, Rita Borges, Francisco Alfonso Lopez.
With a runtime of 8 minutes.
And, of course, you can watch this whole thing entirely on YouTube. Just follow the link in the show notes.
A woman sings karaoke.
This is in
at a
English,
bar.
right?
It is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, uh-huh.
What happens?
It was in
It
English.
was, yes, I remember,
Okay,
yeah.
no, but it's subtitled also. That's what confused me. We watched it with subtitles.
Maybe they
Well, I
had
did. Yeah.
had accents. I don't remember now.
Yeah, it'll accents, yeah. Well, a woman sings at a karaoke bar, which I really liked that song, and apparently it was just for this movie. A pair of sleazy-looking men with tinted sunglasses, gaudy suits, and smarmy faces admire her and eat like pigs. Well, afterward, one of the men uses a cheesy pickup line and comes on to her. She kicks him where it counts and leaves, but he still takes credit for having sex with her. Later, in the parking lot, he learns what it's like to be taken advantage of.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and this is a girls' club. It wasn't just a karaoke, because she was backstage. She worked there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin tried to get the song for his Apple Music playlist, but it wasn't recognized. It looks like it's unique for the movie since the director is credited with writing the lyrics. Hopefully, it'll be released as a real song soon. That'll please Kevin immensely. This man in this movie looks, dresses, and talks like sleazy version of Borat. Very nice.
Very nice.
It's more comedy than horror, but the creature and gore effects are awesome. Overall, we really liked this. We happy?
We happy.
All right.
Quoting from the short.
We happy.
We happy.
Which takes us to our big budget movie this week, Prey from 2022. Directed by Dan Trachtenberg, written by Patrick Ason, Dan Trachtenberg, and Jim Thomas, stars Amber Midthunder, Dakota Beavers, and Dane DiLiegro. Hour and 39 minutes. Trailer in the show notes if you haven't already seen a trailer for this one. It's been kind of everywhere.
This is a prequel to Predator.
Yeah.
So apparently they've been coming to Earth for a while.
They always said they did. We just
They
haven't
said
seen
they
it
did.
before.
Yeah. So this was cool.
Who's reading this?
Coming to Earth on safari. Well, this was a really well-made prequel to the Predator movies. It's simultaneously authentic-looking and believable and far-fetched. The cast is excellent. The effects are mostly great, and it's really entertaining.
Yeah. If you like the other Predator movies, you'll like this one. If you don't care about the Predator movies, just pretend it's a standalone horror movie and you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. And by mostly, I think our biggest gripe was there's a CGI bear at one point.
Oh, that bear looked so terrible.
Really can tell it's... Although, it's probably hard to train a big bear, but it looks CGI.
Yeah. With all the special effects they put into this, you'd think they could do better with a bear.
Yeah, that was disappointing, but that was really the only disappointment.
Well, we are told, a long time ago, a monster came here. Then we find out that we're looking at the northern Great Plains in the year 1719. Oh, 300 years ago almost.
So you're not calling 911 for help when the predator shows up?
No. Naru wakes up in her tent. She's a Comanche living in the woods with her people. We see that she's really good at throwing a tomahawk. She's out hunting a white-tailed deer when there's a loud sound that spooks the deer. Her dog then gets his tail stuck in a trap, one of those metal bear trap kind of things. So we know there's somebody here that's not just them.
Mm-hmm.
But she gets the dog out without any problems. The strange noise continues, and she watches as an alien spaceship comes down through the clouds. Credits roll. Naru tells her brother Tabe around the Thunderbird sign in the sky and wants to hunt something that's hunting her. I didn't catch the name, but it's a kind of coming-of-age task for their people, to hunt something that could kill you. Naru and her mother prepare food and medicine for the war chief's bad knee. All Naru wants to do is hunt, mostly because everyone says she can't. Elsewhere, we see the Predator's spaceship take off into the sky, leaving one of them behind, as we've seen many times before.
Mm-hmm.
One of the men soon goes missing, and the rest go out looking for him. They find the missing man, and it looks like a mountain lion got him. And we're like, nope, it's the Predator. But no, it really was a mountain lion.
But then, what scared the mountain lion away is the question. Yeah.
As night falls, they build a litter while Naru applies medicine. She wonders why the man is still alive. Did something scare away the lion? She finds strange tracks, bigger than a bear, and like nothing she's ever seen. Tabe tells Naru that this could be her test. The mountain lion is hunting her now. And the actor who plays Tabe, Kevin looks at me and says, "Is that Corey Feldman?" And I'm like, and I couldn't not see it after that.
Yeah.
There's a very resemblance
Corey
there,
Feldman
yes.
is much older now, but yeah, strong resemblance.
Yeah, where did that come from? Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it.
Yep.
Pa'aka boasts about being a great hunter, but then the mountain lion jumps him from off screen. Naru falls out of the tree and has to be carried back to their camp. Tabe eventually returns to the camp carrying the dead lion. Naru says something else is out there, but Tabe isn't worried. The next morning, Naru slips out of the camp in search of whatever's out there. We then watch the predator kill a snake and a wolf, and then he takes the trophies. They collect the skulls.
Very cool effects.
Naru comes across a whole field of dead-skinned buffaloes. Predator usually only takes one.
Yeah, and usually just a skull, not the skins. Yeah.
She also finds a cigar, which means it wasn't the predator.
There's traps, there's a cigar, there's white people around.
Yeah. Not long after, the predator finds the buffaloes and the cigar as well, and Naru then falls into quicksand, but manages to pull herself free. Naru then runs across an awful CGI bear who chases her and her dog for a while.
I mean, it got the job done, but it was obviously CGI.
Yeah, it was not good. When the bear hears strange clicking noises, he loses interest in Naru and fights something that can't be seen. The bear loses badly, but Naru gets a good look at what killed it. She runs across several men from her tribe and says that she saw a creature that looked like a mupitzel, something from a children's story. She wants to fight, but the others drag her home, with the predator silently following. She tells them the thing is following them, but they don't believe her until they do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to stop there. We got all these I don't like these new movies. We can't spoil them all.
We can't spoil them. There's lots of gore, and she's something. Yeah, she's awesome in this.
Yeah. Well, before we started, Kevin asks, "Really? Is this horror? Really?" It's about an unstoppable monster in the woods picking off innocents one by one.
Well, okay.
Yes, it's part of an action movie franchise.
It's action movie, science fiction. I guess it's horror, too.
Well, there's a monster in the woods. Where does science fiction come into that, really? Okay. Yes, there's a spaceship.
I guess we can call it that, yeah.
It's a whole lot less science fiction than Alien, and we think that's one of the best horror movies ever.
Yeah.
Taking the film on its own, it definitely has the elements of horror.
Okay.
Except for the CGI bear, which is atrocious for 2022. The Predator, on the other hand, was really well done.
Yeah, and it's very cool. A lot of times his cloaking, comes and goes, or he'll get something splashed on him that'll make him visible. Yeah, there was a lot of that. That was really well done.
Well, okay, I've seen many debates on the feminist aspect of the film, and it's obviously there. This young girl can battle monsters that the big warrior men can't, and she wins. But it's not really so overwhelming that it detracts from the action. At no point does she say girl power or anything like that. It just sort of unfolds. Never have so many people been so outclassed by one creature. Having seen the other movies in the series, I can see the challenge in fighting modern humans, but these guys presented no challenge at all to the Predator. I mean, he did lose eventually, but they got lucky.
Real doing, yeah.
I don't see the value for the alien hunter here. I could kill ants all day long, but I wouldn't call it hunting or take trophies.
Well, that's kind of how hunters are here on Earth, though, too. They're trophy hunters. Most of the time,
the deer don't fight back. Or you're right. Okay.
Even bigger animals. It's still very one-sided, humans versus the animals, and they're probably the same kind of. I mean, you can't analyze alien psychology, but this guy paid 10,000 Galupa credits to go on safari on Earth to hunt quote-unquote dangerous game.
Okay, it's about the trophies
animals.
More than it is the hunting.
I think
maybe.
So.
Okay.
That was my take on it.
We see early on that Naru's medicine makes people cold. The wounded man with the mountain lion got it first, and then the injured translator mentioned that he felt cold. When Naru took the drug, it made her cold enough that the Predator's infrared couldn't pick her up. That's not a big spoiler. I don't know how realistic all that is, but it is established in the story. Oh, and there's a dog who does survive. Mm-hmm. The dog lives in this one.
And I looked up that medication, the plant that was a real medicational plant that was used Civil War era and before for fighting infection and fever. But it's probably pushing it to say it lowers your body temperature enough that you can't be seen by an infrared.
It wouldn't make you actually fever, cold.
But yeah, to make you that cold, that's pushing it.
Okay.
But anyway, she was that good. She made a super concentrated form of it.
Hey, I think this next one we could probably read the whole thing.
Glorious.
I'm just itching to spoil something.
It's a glorious, but this is brand new too. We shouldn't spoil it.
Man, we need more old movies.
We need more old movies.
Okay. Glorious from 2022, directed by Rebecca McKendry, was written by Joshua Hull, David Ian McKendry, and Todd Rigney, stars Ryan Quanten, J.K. Simmons, and Tordy Clark. Hour and 19 minutes. This was one of those Shudder exclusives, so if you haven't seen it, there's a trailer in the usual place. Spoiler-free, this is an interesting take on Lovecraftian-style cosmic horror. It's surprising how entertaining a horror movie set almost entirely in a grimy rest area bathroom can be. And it's mostly carried only by one visible actor. This one is well done, darkly funny, almost silly, and overall very good. What part of almost silly is almost?
Almost? Okay.
This is crazy.
All right, silly.
I put money on this one being a COVID film.
Yeah, the way it. Yeah, because J.K.
one actor,
is voice only.
There's another guy who's voice only.
Himself. There were the two actors that were briefly in close contact, but other than that, yeah, it could be easily,
Yeah, but it's really well done. It's not like a Skype call video or anything.
Yeah.
What happens then? And we'll cut you off partway through.
Well, Wes stands in the darkness. He can't stop thinking about her. He wakes up sleeping while driving. He drives down the road barely awake, looking for somewhere to turn off, and he finally stops at a rest area. There's a vending machine with one item in it, and it still steals his money. Sometimes things seem broken, and it just means you stopped trying. This strange woman sitting on a table nearby, and she comes over, gets the candy bar out on the first try, and he gives it to him. And she advises him to clean out the back seat of the car for somewhere to sleep if he plans to live on the road.
Huh.
And then she leaves.
She's very observant.
But she's kind of odd.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, he's clearly upset about something involving a woman. He calls Brenda on the phone and leaves a message. And another. And another. And he keeps doing this until the battery on his phone dies. And then he gets drunk and burns most of his possessions in the fire pit. And he keeps drinking until he passes out. In the morning, all he has left is a teddy bear. And he even burned his pants, apparently. Those
You're
are
pretty
missing.
drunk to burn your own pants.
Yeah. Well, he starts feeling sick, so he goes inside the restroom to puke. All very dramatic. "Everything all right over there?" asks the voice from the stall next door. And he looks up to see the painting of a woman with snakes for a head.
Somebody got a little carried away with the bathroom graffiti.
Yeah, where the mouth should be is a hole next to the stall. I mean, into the next stall. A glory hole. Glorious. Yeah. And the voice is coming from the other side in complete darkness. Well, the voice wants conversation, but Wes isn't big on bathroom talk. The voice seems to know things that it shouldn't. Very smart, very knowledgeable. And they talk about vomit and bacteria, which does turn out to be a conversation. Eventually, Wes looks under the stall, and he doesn't see any legs in there. Wes goes to leave, and the voice says his name is Gadaduvua, or something like that. Sounds like it. Makes Wes pronounce it. It's the name of an ancient god. I am that god. Yes, it's a god living in a bathroom rest stop stall with a glory hole in the side. Well, Wes climbs over and looks in the stall, despite being told not to, and finds himself outside on the ground. He gets a vision of Brenda, and then wakes up back in the stall. Wes then finds he is locked inside the bathroom. The voice says he can't leave until they are done there. They have business. It's his fate. The voice says this isn't a chance meeting, and the voice is very sympathetic to Wes's plight. Wes opens an air vent, tries to crawl through the tunnels to get out, ends up right back where he was. The universe has a favor to ask,
Yeah,
the voice says.
Probably the place to stop when we find out what that favor is.
What a favor it is.
Well, this is cosmic horror, but it's sure not the color out of space, that's for sure.
But there is that color.
They got a lot of purple in this, yes.
A lot of purple and pink.
Well, it's not a very well-traveled road to have a rest area that is this deserted. Although it's implied that the god is influencing the immediate area, not just the men's room.
Yeah, I think he was kind of almost low-key keeping them invisible.
Yeah. J.K. Simmons plays the unseen voice, and he's perfect for this. He's the most soft-spoken, polite, cosmic entity ever. Bum-ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Ryan Quanten, who I absolutely hated in True Blood. Boy, that character was so obnoxious.
I haven't seen him in True Blood.
You have to see True Blood.
Okay.
But he's really good here, so I guess it's not the actor, it was just the character. Mm-hmm. The special effects and gore are well done, and just enough to make the story good. And I gotta admit it, it's true. This is the best talking glory hole movie I have ever seen.
It was glorious.
Okay, so yeah, they're all winners this week.
We've got 4 winners this week.
4 winners, yes.
4 thumbs up from both of us.
Newish films that we couldn't spoil.
8 thumbs up. Plus the short.
And a question for you. When you're emailing us to get your free movie, email@horrorguys.com. Mm-hmm. Let us know, do you prefer hearing the entire spoilers of the movie, or do you like it when we cut it off and leave you in suspense? I could see this one going both ways.
Because we feel bad about spoiling it if you haven't seen these.
Yeah, the spoilers are there on the site if you want to read them, but some people just like to listen to, good movies. I mean, a movie done in 1962, I don't care. If you haven't seen it, that's your fault.
Yeah, even 10 years or so, more recent. But, especially when there's a nice surprise or, some kind of twist or something, we don't want to give that away when it's brand new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember if any of these had special twists in them or not, but you still don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, they unfold, All
right, well, next week we've got 4 more films.
No way.
We've got, what do we got? The Creeping Flesh from 1973, and I bet we spoiled that one.
There's an oldie. We can spoil the heck out of that one.
Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing in that one. Mm-hmm. We've got Orphan from 2009, the original with the little girl who may not be everything she appears. She's a killer. But we kind of know that ahead of time. Yeah, obviously. And then this year's, not remake, prequel to that, Orphan First Kill. And the 4th movie is, are we going to tell what it is?
Yes.
Nope.
Nope, we're not going to.
Yeah, 2022's Jordan Peele film called Nope. And we will have some bonus films for you. We're going to look at last few weeks over at HorrorBulletin.com, the weekly newsletter. We've been talking about several of the Abbott and Costello Universal movies.
Yeah, I just was going to say there's been a lot of Abbott and Costello.
Been a lot of that lately. We go through all of them. What did we do? We did Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer, Boris Karloff. Abbott and Costello Meet the Invisible Man.
Isn't there one that's The Monsters? That's the plural?
That's a documentary.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. And we just watched the Ghost one,
Hold That Ghost, yes.
I think that was an early one from 1941.
I think that was the first of the bunch. It wasn't really tied in with Universal. It was just a scary comedy. And we'll also look at the fairly recent movie Last Night in Soho, which came out earlier this year, or maybe it was late 2021.
Looking forward to seeing
Sort of
that.
a time travel thing, I think.
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey, because it's got Matt Smith in it.
It does.
Doctor Who.
All right. Well, I am Brian.
And I'm Kevin.
And we'll see you next week.
See ya.